Okay, I've cut my calories super low. This sucks. I know I need a calorie deficit. Oh my God, I'm gonna die, but I need to burn more calories. No breaks. Gotta move. Keep moving. More movement means more calories burned. Need caffeine. This will boost my metabolism. Okay, move and drink caffeine. Okay, move and drink caffeine together. Keep moving. Okay, do some push-ups. Ever feel like you're killing yourself, working harder, not to see the results that you truly want building? You don't need to go to extremes like this. If you feel lost as to what to do and like your hard work in the gym isn't showing, I want to help you avoid common body recomp mistakes with 5 tips to dial in your workouts and your diet to help you lose fat and not muscle. The first key component for fat loss is adjusting your diet to not only fuel your training, but better help you recover from it. Because we can only train as hard as we can recover from. And our nutrition is a key component of our recovery. Now, this tip is one that most of us know we should be doing, yet we often try to find a reason not to do. It's why I really want to take a second to explain the why behind it. While we often just want to know what to do, knowing the what without the why doesn't help us truly embrace the changes, especially when we don't, well, to some extent, want to do them. So what is probably the most important thing we can be focusing on nutrition-wise if we want fabulous body recomp no matter our age? Increasing our protein. You've heard me harp on this before, but this is why I really want to focus on why higher protein is so key. The first reason why protein is so key is it's the building blocks of muscle. By increasing our protein, especially when in a calorie deficit, we're really making sure we're getting our muscles the fuel they need to repair and rebuild from all of our hard training sessions. If we aren't getting our muscles what they need, we risk losing more muscle as we try to lose fat, especially the harder we train and the more cardio we include. And we want that muscle. Building and retaining lean muscle helps us look more defined as we lose fat. It also helps us avoid metabolic adaptations to burn more calories at rest. And when we're getting our body the fuel it really needs to repair from our workouts, we're preventing that catabolic environment that can often occur during a fat loss phase, leading to us not only losing fat, but also muscle. Now, you may have heard that you can only use about 20 to 30 grams in a meal for muscle protein synthesis. And you've even probably tried to use this as an excuse to not eat higher protein. But protein isn't just for building muscle. We are literally made up of protein. So that 20 to 30 grams you're eating isn't just going to cover your muscle needs. It's being used for other body functions as well. And as we get older, we aren't able to utilize protein as efficiently. So the harder you're training as you're trying to see body recomp, especially as you get older, your protein needs increase. Second, protein makes the fat loss process easier, not only because of its muscle building benefits, but also because of its thermic effect and satiating effect. Higher protein diets have been shown to increase satiety, partly because they help you even create higher volume meals. And higher protein diets also lead to a daily higher calorie burn because it requires more energy to digest protein than other macros. So as weird as this sounds, you can feel fuller with technically a higher calorie intake and ultimately create a bit more of a deficit through the fact that your body has to work harder to turn that protein into fuel for your needs. Not to mention, it's way easier to create and maintain your calorie deficit with higher protein for many of us. We simply don't want to eat more of the protein than we have to, so we're less likely to overeat. And if you do happen to overeat your calories, higher protein diets are the only diet shown to help you avoid gaining unwanted fat with a slight calorie surplus. High protein diets give you that extra wiggle room. With increasing your protein and the extra flexibility it gives you in your calorie intake, you also want to fight to keep your calories as close to your current maintenance as possible. Creating a small calorie deficit is key if you want to lose fat and not muscle. Our body doesn't like change. The more we can adjust from what we're currently doing, the better, as our body won't rebel as much. And if you're currently under eating protein, you may even keep your calories where they're at as you increase your protein first. Because even by increasing protein, due to the thermic effect, you could put yourself into a slight calorie deficit. With also building muscle from your training, because you're eating enough calories for muscle growth, you may then find that what was your maintenance is now a small deficit. So with calories, fewer isn't better. Extreme deficits put us at more risk for muscle being lost. not better or faster fat loss results. And this can lead to us looking softer and needing to slash our calories lower and lower to see further progress. Keep your calories as high as you can, first changing protein levels. Then consider even starting by subtracting 100 to 200 calories from what you're currently consuming to create that small deficit. These diet changes then need to be paired with your workout strategically. Especially the harder you train, the more you need to avoid extreme deficits while focusing on increasing protein. And you want to make sure your workouts are designed with a focus on muscle. Yes, muscle. Even if your goal is fat loss, this helps you make sure that you're retaining lean muscle while in a deficit to lose fat as efficiently as possible. And keep it off. Now, there are lots of workout designs that can work, but your focus when designing your workouts is on how you can lift more quality loads during your session. Too often, we just try to add more quantity or more training volume. Instead, we want to focus on the quality of the volume we're doing. Not only does this help us get more out of short sessions, but it truly challenges our muscles with the intensity of progression they need to be forced to adapt and grow stronger. More reps and sets, more volume can just lead to training we don't recover from without actually pushing us to the extent we need to create that stimulus for muscle growth. We need more quality loads lifted over the session. That's where cluster sets can be a great technique to use. If you're struggling with going heavier, only able to do a few reps with your current weight in a row, or even slightly fear your form breaking down as you begin to lift heavier so you hesitate, cluster sets can be a great technique to use. They can help you get out 8 reps with a weight you would only usually be able to do for 4 or 5 reps. That's a lot more weight lifted over the course of your workout. And it's all because you broke down those 8 reps into mini sets. With cluster sets, you're breaking up your traditional set of 8 reps into mini sets of just 2 to 3 reps in a row, with about 10 to 30 seconds of rest between those mini sets, before you then rest longer and do another round. Because you're only performing about 2 to 3 reps before short rest, you'll find you can use more weight for the full 8 reps than you would have been able to had you tried to do 8 reps in a row. Using this technique to lift more weight for quality reps will lead to faster muscle growth in a safer way and us losing fat, not muscle. It's a great way to really create that needed stress and stimulus for muscle growth even as we get older and don't have the same anabolic hormonal environment we did when we were younger. But no matter what techniques you include, and especially the more advanced an exerciser you are, the more you have to really focus on pushing yourself in your training sessions. This doesn't just mean adding more loads. It means creating progression in different ways. And one way we don't often discuss as a way to create progression in our training is exercise order. The order of the exercises we include can have a huge impact. Ever become more aware of how much a muscle is actually working in a move because of another exercise you recently started including before it? That can be used to your advantage. Include an isolation move before a compound lift, and you can use pre-exhaust or pre-fatigue technique to your advantage. You may find you even better activate the muscle you targeted with the isolation move in the following compound lift for more quality movement, or that you're able to fatigue the prime mover in your compound lift with lighter loads and better quality of movement. If, however, fatiguing the muscle with the pre-exhaust technique leads to you compensating, you may find that using an isolation move right after your compound lift works better for you. This post-exhaust training technique can be a great way to push a muscle past failure. You'll do the compound lift to fatigue, then use an isolation move to further target a muscle involved in the lift to work it to failure. You can also combine and use both techniques over the course of your progression, especially to help you take both muscles past failure, but also fully fatigue prime movers that usually won't hit failure with a compound move, because you're limited by smaller, weaker muscles that fatigue faster. But they are both great ways to progress and create that stimulus for muscle growth without just focusing on adding more weight. Then remember, we can only train as hard as we can recover from. When you're working hard towards a goal, you're going to get burned out. That's why planning in breaks is so key. And breaks are not only rest days every week, but also strategically designed diet breaks and recovery weeks. This doesn't have to mean, and honestly, shouldn't mean, that you're just lying on the couch doing nothing. Nor should it mean excusing completely blowing your calories and macros. The goal of these breaks is to help you mentally and physically have a break from the grind. It's like refilling your gas tank. You don't want to end up on empty by the side of the road. You want to pull into a gas station when the light comes on. This allows you to keep moving forward faster. These strategic breaks can help you avoid hitting burnout or letting cravings get the better of you. So don't fear sometimes backing off to ultimately do more. Take time where you include more foods you love and then even increase your calories out of a deficit. Track and work in some fun things that you like a Rice Krispie treat. Take times at points to lower your workout intensity or recharge with workouts that are new and fun, and address some of your weak links. Embrace even doing the minimum as you shift your priorities to come back wanting to keep working towards your goals. But stay focused on those fundamentals and use these 5 tips to dial in your workouts and your diet to work together to lose fat and not muscle.